Sorry, that thing is so annoying. I hate that they added that. But anyway, so I'm so excited for tonight's training, you guys. I feel like it's going to be so helpful because a lot of people in this business, it's so much easier to talk about products than it is about the business. I feel like that's where a lot of people probably miss out in their business, honestly. And that's why a lot of people don't mass enroll the amount of distributors that you could be, because while yes, it's super easy to find posts from other people and like copy and paste and like take stuff from others, it's when you can truly learn to talk about it yourself and write your own posts that is when your business will change, because it really builds that the real relationships and the real trust and shows who you are as a person. Not just, you're not just talking about a business, right? Like you are being you're diving into like your authenticity, and that is when people really feel like they know you, and that's when they're comfortable reaching out. So you might be, and don't get me wrong, sometimes I'll see a post from somebody and I'm like, dang, that's good, but I still tweak it. I still will make it my own before posting. Whereas you could be posting lifestyle posts every day, but if you're copying and pasting them from other people every single time, it's honestly the same as not doing it, because people can feel that. People can truly feel if you just copy and pasted it, because they've seen all your posts. They know how you sound, right? And they know people are smarter than we give them credit for. They know if that's something you did not write. They know that. So when you can truly just learn to be authentic and write things yourself and be vulnerable and share your life, that's when people will be like, wow, I know her. Like, I feel like I trust her. And that's when they feel comfortable reaching out to you. So what we're going to do tonight, just to kind of show you what we're going to do, we're going to take turns going through the four of us. And you guys, all four of us enroll a lot of distributors. So it's probably going to be some good tips. We're going to go through how we're going to share our story and just some examples of how we would talk about that and write it as a lifestyle post. And then we're also going to come back around and then give tips and how we like talk about it too. So for whether that's like lives or stories, because I feel like the two are so similar, but also so different. And a lot of people sometimes miss out on one or the other, right? Like you could be doing lifestyle posts every day, but if you're not talking about it in your stories, it's like a whole different group of people that can be watching your stories. So every single day, I'm also in my stories talking about it there. And when I tell you guys, like, I probably 99% of my enrollments are from my stories, whether no matter how they like came to be a potential, whether it's from me like reaching out or host a post or the lifestyle post, like no matter how they became a potential, it's when they then see me being excited in my stories, being my true self, that's when it just seals the deal, and they'll just like swipe up and reply, okay, I'm ready. Right? So it's really important that you do both. So let's start with Colleen. Colleen, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm
All
ready. I'm trying to find a good place to do this. Okay. Hey, you guys, I am so excited. So I have the end of August will be 3 years in the business, and I am so pumped for that. And I started because my son was sick. I was trying to build he was always sick in daycare, and I was trying to build my clientele in the hair. Well, having a sick child and like when you're never at work and you started hair, it's hard. Like hair is like it's just like another job, like another profession, like nursing, right? It's like if you don't know what you're doing, then you're just not going to do well. And when you're never there, it's so hard. So I started this because Caitlin messaged me one day and she was like, hey, like I make, like whatever she said one of our messages, and I went and stalked her page to the max. And I was like, oh my gosh, she is beautiful. She is making money from her phone. Like, I want to do this. And I was, my mindset at that point was like, if she can do this, I can do this. I was like, I'm no different than my dad always told me, like, you can either be a teacher or you can be a president, or you can be a business owner. So I was like, if she can do this, I can do this. So here I go. So 3 days later, I'm pretty sure I got started. And ever since then, it has just been history. Like, I am obsessed with this business. I am obsessed with this company. I am obsessed with just like telling people I work from my phone. Honestly, I think it is so totally cool. Like something that sticks out to me about our company and like this business is there's literally something for everybody. And I love that, because at the time I was, I wasn't at the point of like wanting to lose weight. And anyway, then we ended up having another baby. So like basically for the whole time, it's either been like I haven't wanted to lose weight or I've been pregnant or breastfeeding. So I just love that there's literally something that everybody can use, right? So anyway, long story short, now I am here. I'm a double diamond and I am just loving what I do because we are so busy. Like I work this business on the go most of the time. Ryder has like 3 therapies a week. And we do like swimming, gymnastics during the school year. He's in school, so like I'm driving a lot. And just taking care of 2 kids in general is a lot of work. So that's basically my story. I work from home and I'm a stay-at-home mom. We are like crazy busy, small groups, church, like all the things y'all like. I live life. So, and I work this business all at the same time. So that's like the super fast version of my story. And I, you know, in regards to like Caitlin, do you want me to like talk a little bit about the lifestyle post real fast?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So there's so many ways to write lifestyle posts. It can be like super short. It can be like, let's say you've gotten your first paycheck and it was $30, or you've gotten your 10th paycheck and it was a few $100s. Um, so like if you've made money in this business in that aspect, like just the other day I pumped gas and it came from this business and I made something so simple. When I'm done talking, I'm going to share 3 posts that I'm about to quickly like run through and talk about. It's like 3 different ways that my mind kind of like writes them. So like fast things like, what the money is doing for you, right? So like if you've made something and you buy groceries, you buy a box of diapers because like y'all loves diapers are like $15. So like your first paycheck might buy a box of diapers. Your first paycheck might buy some gas. Your 10th paycheck might do the same thing, right? So I just like literally wrote I'm so grateful. I'll send it in here. Just like something so simple, you guys, like my gas, my business paid for my gas. And of course we have to always post the income chart. I will say that, just in case you don't know. So whenever we're talking about these types of posts, it's always best to post the income chart. We need to be proud of it. I'm proud of it. I'm proud that I make this income. And whenever even like, if you question it, post the income chart, like always, y'all. And so that's one way. And then another way is like, even if you've done nothing, you haven't got your first paycheck, you haven't made anything because, you're within your first month or you fell off the handle and you're just waiting for your like for your next paycheck or whatever. Like, let's just say you want to do something that has nothing to do with like, the money that you've made, right? You can simply talk about where you're going and like what you're doing with this business and what your goals are. People want to hear about that, you guys. So like it can be, and like why you started, right? You're a stay-at-home mom. Like for me, like, or like you're a stay-at-home mom and you want to, make extra money so you can be a yes mom, so you can play outside and work. And so your kids don't have to be taken care of by somebody else. Like something super simple, like tell your story, like why you got started, where you're going with this, where you see yourself in the future. Like you literally want to like walk people through those steps. And again, I'm going to send some examples and they can literally be like tweaked um, into your own story. And then they can also be as simple as here's my last little thing. As simple as, so today I found out that Ryder is going to start doing 2 speech sessions a week. And that's a lot because like I already have to do this, that. So I was like, oh my gosh, like praise God, I am a stay-at-home mom making this income from my phone, because like how the heck would I get him to all these different things that he needs for his well-being and for like his future and all these things. So I wrote a post this afternoon just saying how grateful I was that like I am able to make this, you just like work from my phone. Like I think I just did it broad like that. Like I'm so thankful I get to work from my phone wherever I want to, because like he needs me there. And it can be something as simple as that, like you know um doctor's appointments, like kids. Just if you have kids, I'm just like talking about kids because I have kids, right? It's just they're a lot of work. It's a lot, like you just never know. And so it's so I can be here and that this gives us that flexibility. So I'm going to throw those in here, but I mean, I hope that that helps. Like there's so many different ways that we can like word things and really just, you know, we don't want to do the, like Caitlin said, like copy and paste from somebody else, because that's not, you know, really like get deep down and like talk about yourself. And another big tip, I always recommend posting pictures of yourself, y'all. Like I never used to like myself, and I mean, sometimes it's going to take time to get used to it, but realize we're all amazing. Every single person on here is beautiful. And I want you to show your whole entire following what you look like, because people want to see you. People want to see you, and people want to see your story. And like, I don't know, that makes me like emotional. Like seriously, you guys, like show yourself on your page. I can't say it enough. But that's all I'm going to say. Okay, next person.
Okay, I love that. I see Caitlin Ham up on my screen. You want to chime in?
Sure. Okay. So bear with me. I'm sick. So if this like gets crackly and I start coughing, that's why. I'm not dying. I'm just sick. So so if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Caitlin. I have been in the business for almost 2.5 years now. It's like still like so real to me. And I am a diamond leader with this company. I literally look back and it's like crazy. I actually did not have Caitlin reach out to me, but I did enroll with her. I watched two people do this business for 1.5 years while I struggled and stressed. I asked all the questions and I heard everybody tell me it was a scam. I was going to get shammed. That is not real. And I listened to them, guys. Don't do that. But I did it for 1.5 years while I struggled. Like legit, we were pinching pennies. I was asking my parents for help every single month. And it was the most like, I just like the most ridiculous, emotional, hard feeling in the world. Nope. Go. You're fine. Go. This is part of the life, guys. Elliot, I can't right now. Just sit there then. This is part of the reason I do it. Okay, right there. That kid right there. But I was pregnant with my second son shortly after I had my first, and we had invested in a fixer-upper. Lo and behold, Zachary was far and few between by like, let's get this renovation started. Little did we know that he was going to be almost incomeless for a few months, and that left us with nothing. We had invested in this house, almost lost this house, and by the time that I got started with Caitlin, I literally wrote her this big long message saying like, I need to make like $100 extra, like something. I just need to pay for a bill before I like don't have anything. And mine and Zachary's relationship was literally just coming to like a point where it was like, can we do this anymore? I was thinking about moving back home. I really don't share this, but like I was literally at the point of like, do we just continue or do we end? And when I got started in this business, what I found very quickly was a support system that I never had. I found loving friends and a community of people that was like literally on my back. 3 months into this business, guys, who knew I would have needed this community more than I thought I did? We were again in renovations as we had been, and we had the worst rainstorm that literally flooded our house, guys, to the point where I was talking to Caitlin. She was talking me through it. I had a 2-week-old baby in my house. I was losing my shit. I did not know what to do. I kept working this business, and lo and behold, this business grew an income that allowed me to continue to stay home with my kids. It allowed us to fix the damages. It allowed us to continue literally doing the things. And when I came into this business, I was looking for $100 extra. So when I got to Diamond and I made a full-time income, my jaw freaking dropped. I was like, Caitlin, this isn't real. Like, this is a scam. There's no way they're going to take my taxes. Like, this isn't real. And it was real, guys. And I am still so emotional about it today because like it changed our lives, because a lot of people come in with this vision of so itty bitty small and they're like, I'll never achieve that $50. That was me. It took me 6 months to go Ruby, and I proudly say that. It took me over a year to go Diamond, and I proudly say that. I also will tell you that I did that by myself. I did not have a team backing me. I did that by myself, meaning you can do it if I did it. I've seen so many people in this business get to the point where they feel like their team isn't behind them. Does not matter, guys. You came for you. You are here for your reasons. Continue for your reasons. So the same reason that I started in this business won't be the same reason that somebody else starts. And I love that Colleen touched on children, but I also know that not a lot of people come into this business with children. Some of them are grandmas. Some of them aren't even at the point of having children. They're college students, or they're like at a point where they're just like, I don't really know what I'm doing with my life, but I want to do something more. So just know that like you can make this work no matter who you are. There is no face mold person you need to fit into. You need to be you, and you need to come as your best self every single day. That is the one thing I really want to like just share with you guys, because when writing a lifestyle post, that's going to be so key. So for instance, I'm going to share the one that I wrote today that some of you may have read. And in the recognition of like, if you're talking about money, please post the income disclosure chart. But also when you guys are posting a post such as this one, where I'm just going to read this. Back to the grind today. Was it hard for me to wake up not feeling 100% myself? Heck yeah. Is it hard to push myself to really do anything? Heck yeah. Is it really hard to be a mom today and show up? Heck yeah, it is. Is it hard to get back on track? Heck yeah, it is. But you want to know what's also hard? Having to go to a 9-to-5 and say bye to my babies day after day and to provide for them. Having to say no and explain we cannot afford all we want. Having to tell my babies I tried, I am too tired, and I just couldn't do it for them. Having to fully depend on my fiance and family just to get by in life. Anything can be hard, but I will choose the hard that allows me a life of time freedom with my babies any day, having to say goodbye daily in hopes to get a day off with them. What I do is hard some days, but is worth every minute, moment, memory, and time that I spend with my boys, because they are worth it. Guys, that is a lifestyle post. That is not directing, saying that this business is paying for anything. That is not directing, saying that it works, did this or that. That is simply sharing exactly what I'm going through. Guys, it is hard as heck to show up when you feel like crap, which I have felt like crap, okay? The last couple days I felt like crap. I literally am sick as a dog, but I will show up 100% because I know what this business can do. And so realize and recognize when you make a lifestyle post, the different types of lifestyle posts that there are. There are money ones where you are directly saying that this company paid for X, Y, and Z, income disclosure chart. But there are points where you are recognizing the benefits. No. Where you are recognizing the benefits. Oh my good Lord. How do you find all these? No, not the next one. Make sure that you recognize what type of lifestyle post you're putting up before you put it up. Income disclosure charts are for money. When you are talking about the broad spectrum of things that you can do with this industry and what it has allowed you, and you're not directing that this business is paying for X, Y, and Z, you don't need an income disclosure chart. But keep in mind that you need to, if you feel like you're sitting there judging yourself on like what you're posting and you're not really sure, ask somebody. So that's a lifestyle post. If you go read what Caitlin wrote on her wall today, that's also a lifestyle post.
I'm sorry, I just unmuted myself. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Caitlin, you want to?
So what happens whenever you have a 14-year-old and an 8-year-old and a whole house that you have to deal with, and I have my own cleaning business, and I'm doing this business. Stop it. And I get overwhelmed with this. Like, I really want this business to work for me, but I don't even have time to post about my own life anymore. So how does that work? Do y'all have any advice for that? I mean, I know that you can pre-make things and everything can be like that, but I am legit doing so much every day that I don't even have time to post for myself. So what is the advice for that?
Okay, so for something
I
with
mean,
that,
I have a 14-year-old and 8-year-old.
okay, so what I would do is like, what kind of
Sorry.
schedule do you currently have? I would essentially work earlier and later is kind of how I would do that. Because even with my two kids, like I work earlier and later, and I just work around it. It doesn't look the same every single day. It's a matter of finding those 5 to 10 minute increments throughout.
Well, I'm gonna cook up some line fish and some jumbo shrimp.
Sorry, I just muted because it was really loud there for a second. But can I jump in for a second here too, Caitlin? Okay, so what I would say to that is honestly, there are so many people in this business that have similar stories. Like there are so many people that run multiple business. Like I saw Sophia just sent in the chat. She has so many kids, and she also like works other jobs. Like she works full time too. Like there are so many people that are so successful that have such similar stories. And I think what it comes down to is just and I know schedules can sometimes be hard, but just genuinely take the time that you can. So even if it's like bathroom breaks, lunch breaks, if your kids are eating or napping, like I know when Heidi was a newborn, I would take like every little second that I had, or even if it's like staying up 10 minutes late or getting up 10 minutes earlier than you normally do. Like it really is just about taking the 5 to 10 minute increments here and there wherever you can. It's not about having to sit down for an hour or two, because that's honestly not relatable to like anybody. And that's not what we talk about when we do our lifestyle posts, right? We don't say you have to sit down and work your business all day, because it's so true that you can do 2 to 5 minutes here and there, as long as you genuinely are using them and being consistent with that and just being proactive with the time that you have. So that's what I would say, is just like break it down into the little tasks. And even if it's like, I only have 5 minutes here, so I'm gonna like literally right before this, I went and I did all my following on Instagram. It literally took me like maybe 2 minutes, but that was boom, one task done for the day, you know? So even if it's just little bits of time here and there, that's good enough. So that's what I would say. Caitlin, did you still have more tips about your post it? I can't remember if you were done or if you were still going.
I was still going.
Okay.
But essentially what I was gonna say is like when you guys do lifestyle posts, like I can send a couple in the chat and give you guys examples. When you guys start out in the business, I want to talk about when you haven't made money, because I could talk all day about you making $10 and like how that $10 could literally like buy your kid like candy or something, right? But like I want to talk about like how to post when you didn't make money. I came into this business, I made money very quickly. So of course it was a little easier for me to like post about lifestyle posts, but a lot of people come into this industry thinking that if I don't make $1, I won't ever get a distributor. That's not true. That's actually so far from true. Because in my first week in this business, I didn't make $1 and I was still posting about the business. I was still talking to people. I was still doing the things. How I was posting was where I was going. So before this business, we were stressing and struggling financially. What I found when I found this business, I found a support system with loving, caring people that actually genuinely wanted to help me succeed. From there, I am running to the rank of Ruby. I don't have to talk about the money. I don't have to talk about the $500 that it averages. I'm running for the rank of Ruby. What will Ruby do for me? It will X, Y, and Z. Talk about the things it's going to do. Talk about what that's going to help you with. For me, as a person that wanted to run to Ruby, for 6 months, I talked about, I was stressing and struggling before this business. I was financially strapped. I was making $0. I joined this company on my mom's dollar. I borrowed the money to get started. And when I got started in this business, what I found was the community, the love, the support, all that. More people will buy into a genuine story that you actually show them than they will before they buy into the company or the product. So please know that like when Colleen was talking about like posting about yourself and showing you, they will buy into you and your story before they ever buy into a product or a company. You could splash It Works all over your page and it could be green and black all day long and not a single soul will look at it. But when you put your thoughts and your words behind it and you explain what this business does, such as we're so freaking grateful, I'm so freaking grateful to be on a team that literally is all about uplifting women, that is all about loving on you and supporting you. You guys don't even realize the leaders that we have. And I've been in a time in my business when I went Ruby specifically, where it was really hard. And Caitlin and Jackie are the most loving, caring, sweetest people on the planet. That's the kind of support system that we have. And if you guys ever need somebody, we're all like that because we have been taught and like taught to be that person. Even the reddest of the reddest on this team is still loving and caring. And so like that's something to be proud of. Somebody out there may be looking for a friend that just wants to have their support. You don't necessarily always have to talk about the money and what this business could do. More or less, you could talk about the support. Because I know there's several of my girls on this Zoom specifically that came into this business because they just wanted a friend to support them in something. And guess what? Their friend is in Canada and they're in the US. And I support them on everything they do, and I love on them, and I care for them, and I'm so excited for every accomplishment they do, right? So like talk about that. There's different ways to write lifestyle posts. It's not always about the money, and I just want you guys to know that. Like, be real and raw, but don't always just expect that it's all about the money, and that's how everybody signs. Caitlin signed distributors way before she made all the money she makes now. I can tell you that right now. And she's been a mass distributor and roller since the day she signed. So that's what I want to say.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. This is so good, you guys. Drop a 1 if like there's been anything that just made you be like, yes, okay, this is like so true. Okay, so now Sarah, your turn.
Okay, hi guys, I am Sarah. I am 23 and I've been in the business for about a year and a half now. So I started just basically like I just wanted a couple $100 extra, and then it took about 6 months for me to go Ruby. Like it was a good long journey, but like Caitlin said, I am really proud of that journey. Like that was my journey and I owned it. So I got that, extra couple $100, and then I kept going, and all of a sudden my business just really started exploding, and I am now a diamond leader. I've come a lot farther than it took me in the first 6 months. But sorry, my son's climbing that thing. But this has just been such an amazing thing. Like everybody is so supportive. And just like Caitlin said, like you don't always just have to post about money, because my huge thing is I like to post about the support and all these amazing women. I've made so many friends within this business. Like I literally used to have no friends, and now I can proudly say I have more than a handful. Like this business has changed mine and my family's lives so much. We were so struggling before this. We couldn't even pay our bills. We were always borrowing money. We were always arguing about something because we didn't have the money to pay for it, and it was just crap. It was so crap. And now I literally would never say that about my life. Like this business has changed my mindset. It has changed my pocket, obviously, but it has changed my family in such a good, positive way. And I'm so proud to be here and to be sharing with you guys. So for lifestyles, I really like to do like where do you vision yourself heading? I'm a really big one for that. So I will always tell my followers where I see myself going. So that way I put it out there and I'm kind of held accountable for it. So that's a really big thing, especially when I first started and it took me 6 months to, go Ruby and start making that couple $100. I didn't feel that I wanted to share with people. I made $30 my first paycheck. So what I did was I would tell people where I see myself a year from now. And like I would dream up some awesome dreams, and they're coming true, you guys. Like these things that you tell people and you put out there in your lifestyle posts, you do start to achieve them because you make it real in your mind, and it makes you work harder and a lot smarter, I'll tell you that. So that is a huge thing, is I will always tell people where I see myself. I will always tell people about where I was before this business and why I joined, so that they can see the huge impact it's had within the past year. And for stories, oh my gosh, you guys, I find that people love when you just show your life. Like I will share videos of my son. I will share, me and my husband going scootering. Like I'll just take quick pictures here and there, and I'll put them on my stories so people can see the sort of freedom and the sort of life that this business offers. And I have a lot of people that will just reach out to me just from seeing those stories. And then seeing, a good profile where it's full of happy, smiling people. Like people love to see you. It's not about the dollar sign. It is about you and what you have to offer. And if you can show them that this business has to offer a lot for them because it offered you a lot, people will really start to come into your inbox. Sorry, you can check on my son. He's sitting in my room hiding in the bathroom. So another huge thing is that Samantha Westwick, she makes things like these super cute story slides. I'll always snag them from her. So never feel afraid to steal things from really anybody. Like, they're out there for a reason. Just change them up a bit. So I'll always take her story slides for distributors, and I'll throw my picture onto it. And it'll always have like cute things that are eye-catching, and like, it's just, I find those ones super, super effective. So if nobody has used those yet, I definitely recommend to go and find some stories, find some leaders, and start snagging some things, because that was literally like my jam. It still is. I still like to snag things all the time. I don't really have a whole lot of other tips though. You guys really covered a lot, but the before and after, like where you see yourself going and where you were before, those are my two biggest things, and I will always stick to those things. Or just a nice, simple, couple worded, like couple sentences, like, this is what I get to do today, and this is my office for the day. How blessed am I? I will always tell people I am blessed. If you tell people you're blessed, you're bound to get blessedness back to you. Like, so that's another big thing, is always put out there what you want to receive. And if you want to receive, a happy family, show that to people. Say that, like, look, this business has made us so happy, and all the good things. So that's really what I like to do. But I'm going to pull up a post that I did today. And it was just like super, what is it? Okay. So I put up a post today, and it just says, working from home, it comes with challenges, but it also comes with a lot of blessings. Instead of paying for somebody else to take care of my son while I work, I get to do that. And I get to save the money that it would cost for somebody else to do it. I get to soak up his love, his attitude in every moment of every day, while I bring in a significant income for my family while helping others do the same. I get so much freedom when it comes to my family life because I said yes to this business. Now, that doesn't mean I barely work or get things easily. This means I wake up early, I kick the day's butt to be able to have the precious time with my son and to be able to afford nice things in life that I want. I work my butt off to be able to have this time and the freedom with them. And then I do every now and then, I like to throw in, like, I'm looking for a few hardworking women that are devoted to wanting more, or, need an extra income. And I'll always throw that into the bottom of a lot of my posts, just to put it out there really broadly that, hey, this is an opportunity for everybody. Like, if you think it's not for you, joke's on you, because it certainly is.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I love that so much. Thank you so much, Sarah. That's so good. And something, I was taking notes as you guys talked to cover a couple more tips, but something that Sarah mentioned that I just wanted to cover really quickly before I went into my tips, because it's so good, is how she mentioned like putting it out there into the universe. And it's crazy because that's what I'm reading right now in my personal development. The book, pardon my language, but it's called Just Fucking Do It. Such a good book. And it talks about how in order to really like get to where you're wanting to go, you truly do have to connect with the universe, which sounds silly, but she literally puts exercises in there that makes you do it. And so, for example, in chapter 1, there's this thing, and it's like, if you want to truly connect, like there's this paragraph you had to say out loud that was, it basically said, it was like, if this is real, like I'm trying to connect to the universe, I will be like that better person. I want to be that like inspirational, whatever it said. I can't remember word for word, but then you have to ask the universe, show me a sign that this is real, and that like by me speaking it out there, that like I will receive. And so you have to ask for a gift back in the next 24 hours. And I know Cassidy Davis is reading this book right now too, and it worked for both of us. That's how real it is. When you follow her steps, it really just talks about how like you have to tap into like it's hard to explain myself, but anyways, it's so good. And so I just wanted to touch on, you guys, like your vibe that you give out, it is such a real thing. Like if you are not doing personal development, and you could be doing the tasks all day every day, but if you're like having a negative mindset and being hard on yourself behind the scenes, that's exactly what you're going to keep getting, because it is what you are putting out there. It doesn't matter how hard you're working. It's what you're putting out there that you're going to get back. And I actually had a training session with my Tony Robbins coach today, and that was what we touched on too, because it has been a struggle, you guys. I've been sharing a lot the past couple days on like what's been going on, and I'll touch on that on like being authentic. But that was exactly what my business coach told me today too. She said, it is more important that you take baby steps and do everything you can do with an amazing, like hyped up, positive attitude than if you go out there and work your ass off, but you're actually being negative and moody behind the scenes. That is less effective. Doing less work, but being excited and loving what you are doing is better. So I just wanted to put that out there, you guys, because it is honestly like so important that you understand that, because even if it's like talking to your potentials, your lifestyle posts, every single thing that you write or are doing for your business, if you are secretly thinking like this isn't going to work anyways, like they're not going to join anyways, they're not going to be interested, that is what you are putting out there. And guess what? They will not be interested, or they won't have the money, because you are making it happen. It's what you're focusing on. So I just wanted to touch on that before I went into my tips, because it's honestly such a good thing that she pointed out. So the other thing I wanted to say, the first note I have is, you guys, I didn't message for distributors until after, it was like 2.5 years into my business. So when I went triple, you guys, I had not sent a single message for distributors. So I want you guys to grasp like how important these lifestyle posts and these stories that we're telling you about are, because I did not message for people until after I was a triple diamond. And I have always been a mass distributor enroller. Like I have always brought in so many distributors, but that is how important it is to be authentic and to talk about the opportunity every day and to build that trust and that relationship with people. And I'm not saying don't message. I do now, and I love it. Like absolutely do it. But I'm just trying to show you guys that that's how important they can be. That is how big you talking about it is. Okay. So I just wanted to put that out there. And also back to Colleen's point where she shared about showing yourself. That is also really big, you guys. And something I had just tapped into the last couple months was really like body positivity and sharing, like, because I'm not skinny by any means, but just from the products and stuff, my confidence like grew. And so I started focusing on that and showing your body. She is not wrong, you guys. That literally changed my business, whether it's for products or for business, because even the potential distributors, when they see you being so confident and just loving what you're doing and not being ashamed of anything to do with yourself, that's when they will message you and be like, you're like giving me confidence. Like, thank you. Like you are making me feel like I could do that. And so it truly is so important, you guys, because if you like you don't want to show yourself, like you don't have that confidence, you're like, I'm just not into it. They're not going to be into it either, because they don't know you. They don't feel that confidence coming out of you. And so even though it might be about you as a person, it also stems through in the way that they're like, well, if she doesn't have confidence, like, why would I sign with her? You know, like you want to be so confident. And I know that that's easier said than done, but it is honestly something to work on, is your personal development and just learning to love yourself. And that is when truly like people will come out of the woodworks and be like, okay, you're inspiring me. Like, talk to me. What are you doing? The other note was being authentic through everything. And I know Caitlin touched a little bit on this, but I wanted to go into that as well, because I truly think that the reason some of us are so good at enrolling distributors is because we really do things a lot different than other teams, in the sense that I don't tell people to just be a highlight reel. I do not. Like, you want to be authentic through the good times and the bad. Like, even when things are crappy, if you feel like this is hard, like this sucks right now, this is really stressing me out, talk about it, but not in a complaining way. Don't post in a way that you're like nagging and like complaining and this sucks and blah, blah, blah. Talk about it. Like, if you guys didn't see my post today, go read the post that I made today. It's very much relating to this. So talk about the things you are going through that are really, really hard, but how because of this business, you are able to, whether it's like you're thankful that you can work from home, maybe you don't have to get off the couch, maybe you're like sick as a dog like Caitlin is, but because of this opportunity, she doesn't have to call in sick. She doesn't have to take time off work and lose pay. Or, you know, like my story that I shared today, you guys, is we're having a ton of like pregnancy complication and it is stressful as hell. It's going to be a long 9 months. But, and there was another thing I talked about with my business coach today, and she's like, okay, but how many people relate to either that, but also like physical disabilities that they're going to be on bed rest, or they're in wheelchairs, or people with mental illnesses that can't get a job because they're crippled, like they can't get out of bed, you know, like there are literally millions of people in the world that will relate to every single negative thing you go through, always, no matter what it is. If you're like, well, I can't work my business because this is going on or this is going on, false. That is your opportunity to talk about it and relate millions of people in the world to what you are going through. Be that light, be that inspiration for these people that are also suffering. Because if all you ever talk about are the good things and you wait until there's exciting things to talk about, that's cool, but it's not relatable because other people are struggling. Other people don't have amazing things happening every day. It's not all positive. Other people go through things too, right? So when they see you being honest about the things that are hard, the things that stress you out, the things that are rough, then when they see you, be like, okay, but look, I got through it and I can help you get through it. That's when they then also believe and trust in the positive things that you're talking about. Because if all of a sudden you're like, look what I was able to do, I made $500 and I was able to go put food on my table, I was able to do this for my family, they don't start like judging or being like assuming that you're lying, because you are honest about the hard things too. Why would you lie about the good if you are also sharing the things that go wrong? It just builds such a strong trust that people would never ever doubt anything that you talk about, because you're not just a highlight reel. You're not only talking about good things and pretending that life is like rainbows and butterflies. You are just being authentic. You're sharing everything that happens, and it makes people really just tune into. They not only follow you because they want to see you get through it, but then they trust you and they're like, okay, you are real. You are a real person. You are getting through real life things. Show me how. And I guarantee you, when you start doing that and sharing those things that are hard, but in an inspirational way, I'm telling you guys, the amount of people that reach out to you and just say like, thank you for being real. Like, you inspire me so much. Can you like tell me about it? Like, that brings you more people than if you pretend that everything is fine when it's not. I'm telling you. So that was something I really wanted to give a tip on as well. And some examples of that, like I said, go read the one I made today. But anything, you guys. So let's say, for example, you're new and you're like, well, I haven't made money yet. Like, I can't afford. Let's say, for an example, let's say you have a specific situation where you're like, I can't pay my bills today. This is embarrassing. So like, I can't work my business because how am I supposed to talk about making an income when like I don't have money? But what you then do is you talk about it in an inspirational way and you say, look, you guys, I struggled to pay my bill today and it is super embarrassing. And like, be real, but I don't ever want to go through this situation again, which is why I started this online business. And because of this business, I will never struggle to pay this bill again, ever. Or maybe you couldn't afford to put gas in your tank today. So you're like, well, how the heck am I supposed to talk about my business today? I can't even put gas in my car. You say that. It was so embarrassing. I pulled up to the gas tank today and I had to check my bank account and could only put $5 worth of gas in my car. But because of this online business, I will never have to do that again. Next time I go to fill my car, I will not have to check my bank account because I will work my ass off with this business to make sure that that doesn't happen. So those are some examples of ways that like you can take things that are wrong, things that are hard, things that just feel crappy and talk about it, but twist it in a way that's showing people like, I've been here, I'm doing this, but like I will get past. And so I will show you how to get past that too. So that's a really big thing, you guys, is just be real. And I feel like this whole experience lately of just like all the struggles our family has been going through has honestly, it's really humbled me and showed me in the best ways, you guys, that it is so true. The amount of relationships that have like blossomed since going back to just talking about all of these things is unreal, you guys. Like, I'm talking like hundreds of messages, people that will message you all the time and just be like, thank you, like I'm thinking about you, like you are so inspirational, like thank you for being so real. Like, it really just changes those relationships. So yeah, those were my tips that I was going to give. I can't think of anything else because you guys covered so much. So Colleen, do you want to go into like when you do lives or stories or any type of like video, what are some tips you have for that?
Yeah. So I think a great one is when you're doing a story, I've heard other leaders talk about this and I do this. So I do myself, like I record myself talking about like a business objection. A lot of people think that you have to have million friends to start this business, and you don't. You can literally start this business with 0 friends, and we're going to show and teach you how to grow your network, and you don't have to know anybody. So, I think that that's like a cool thing to say. And then you can do like, the regular like business slides after it. So that's kind of something that I do, is talk about business objections. The people following you is a big one, that people think you have to have a lot of friends to do this, and you don't. You can literally start this with 0 friends, 0 social media, and get to the top of the company. Yeah, so I guess that's my biggest tip. I know we're going to try to move through this. So that's my biggest thing for stories. I love doing stories. That's another thing. Like, people see you on your story. If you're just doing all these, granted, I can't even lie, you guys, like in the beginning of my business, I never used to like do this, but like really, if you're wanting to go to the next level, like fast, get yourself in your story. Like, that's probably where I went wrong, is I didn't show myself enough. So that's my advice. That's my tip.
I love that. It's so good. Okay, Caitlin, what tips do you have?
Okay, so the power went out, so I'm dark. Sorry. You can do this at any point in time, okay, guys? There's no thing that stops you, okay? Thank goodness I charged everything before this. So essentially, I've always been big on stories, okay? Like, my biggest thing for stories is you can either go ham with products and showing you make the products, or you can go ham with showing the opportunity and how you do the opportunity. There are about 3 to 4 different ways you can do this. Now, when I started my business, I was all about product. And guess what I enrolled? I enrolled a whole bunch of customers. I didn't know how that was happening. I was like posting, nobody would comment, but all of a sudden these people just flow in. My stories, guys, people were watching my stories. Like, stories were so new when I got started in this business. So like, people would watch and they're like, oh dang, she's making that fat burning coffee. I want that fat burning coffee. The same thing can happen with distributors. Okay. And when I realized this, my swap from enrolling customers to distributors happened last August. And my big thing that I do is I'm so vocal, but I'm also very, like, I don't just show the business or the product. I learned very quickly that if you're just going to be spammy in your stories, nobody wants to watch it. They'll just skip through it. Okay. I got a lot of people that would vote on polls, and I was like, hey, like, you're interested in this? And they're like, no, I was just scrolling through. They don't want to see just the random slides, guys. They want to see you, and they want you to actually be enticing to them. So for me, my big thing is I will throw up in the morning something about the product. Then I'll throw up something random, whether it's a vote on these polls to like see which one you like, just to be able to get to know my network, or whether it's something random, whether it's us like walking at 8 a.m., going for a walk at 8 a.m. with my kids, okay? I'm showing me. I'm being me. I don't use like the makeshift slides, if you will. I think I did yesterday for the first time in ever because I'm sicker than a dog and I did not have a voice. So I did yesterday, but I normally talk through my stories. I also have my own personalized story that I made myself that literally shows our family and how much we've changed over the last 2.5 years. I am me. People see me. So the biggest tip I have is don't hide behind the pictures that you could post. Show you. People, like I said, with your posts, it's the same thing with your stories. They will buy into you before they buy a product, before they buy the business. 100%. I enroll a lot of customers and distributors because they see me drinking the celery and me drinking the coffee and me taking the TFX and me taking the gummies. They also buy into me because of the business, because I show the opportunity. I literally spent 4 days at the lake, guys. That stuff did not happen before this business. We just bought a boat. I shared that. You want to know how many people, like, you want a lot of interaction, you either have a kid or buy a boat. Okay, that's what I learned. You either buy a boat or have a kid, because that post still is getting interaction. But I shared that in my story, and my story views went up, guys. You got to show people what you're doing, not just that you're making money. It's not all about the money, but what you're doing. And objections, like what Colleen said, is huge. But you got to show what that does for your family. How are you using that? Are you sitting on the couch like a couch potato? Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to sign with somebody that's sitting on the couch like a couch potato. I want to be with the person that's out at the freaking park at 8 a.m. with their kids, because that's freaking cool. At 8 a.m., I should be at a job. I'm at the park with my kids. Well, that's pretty freaking cool on a Tuesday. Okay? I don't know about you guys. So be so real. Be you. If you guys have the opportunity to be at home with your kids, and that's what this business allows, show people that. Don't just expect them to sign with you because you're showing them because your toes are on the ground or whatever, right? Like, show people you. That's my biggest tip.
Okay, I love that. And I know, Sarah, you touched on it. If you have any other tips, just let me know if you need to unmute. But otherwise, I'll go last. And I think the last thing I was just going to talk about is pretty similar. It's literally the main task for myself every single day, you guys. And if you're in any of our chats and our polls, you'll see this. Every single day, it says show yourself in your stories or a video. Like, it is the most important thing you can do, in my opinion, is because when your face is out there, it's not just pre-made posts. It's not just like filtered pictures of you. It's you. No matter how like good or bad you look that day, it's relatable. People want to see what you look like. And sorry, that was just distracting me. So anyway, so always showing your face every single day. And a tip that I have, you guys, is I try to make the first slide not business or product ever, so that people are saying like, oh, what is this? And they scroll through, and then you just kind of like sneak the business and the products in there. So like every single day talking about the business and the products, but it's like, it's not all you're talking about. It's just like in there so that they're interested. They want to see everything else. So they have to see the products and the business in order to get through it, is a big tip that I have. Never fill it and just like spam it with products or business, because that's how your views will go down so fast, because people are like, oh, well, she has a story up, but it's just her business. I'm not interested. Whereas if it is all like what you're doing during the day, inspirational quotes, polls, like Caitlin said, it like, and not like related ones, but like random ones about like food or like summer things, like things that people actually find fun to go through and pick like their favorites. Those are huge. So just making your stories so fun and inspirational, and then sneaking the things about the business and the products in. You guys, my views for stories are so high because I truly love pouring myself in. Like, I've showed you guys in like a couple of chats lately. Like, I've had days recently of like 12 to 1300 views on my stories. Like, my stories get mass views because it's my favorite thing, and it just shows. Like, I'll show Heidi playing outside, and you guys, even just something as simple as getting groceries on a weekday, you don't even have to say it, but people see that while they're at work in an office, you're at a store or you're with your kid. Like, by you constantly showing those things, even without saying it, it is still saying to everybody, hey, look, it's a weekday and look what I'm doing while look what you're doing, you know? So just constantly sharing your life in your stories and just being excited about it. So when you do like show your face, be excited, because if you look bored, if you look like you're doing it just for the sake of doing it, they'll be like, she doesn't even look like she enjoys it. Like, you look bored, right? Whereas if you're so excited, and you can be talking about the most random things, you guys. Like, the things me and Heidi do are so weird sometimes. Like, all these baby chicks that we have at our house, have you seen that? It's probably so weird. But when you're just so excited about it, that's when people want to tune in and they want to follow. And like, they don't care what you're talking about it, because you're just so like funny about it, you know? Like, if you love what you're doing, it comes through. And so just make your story so real and just have fun with it. And that's when people will really just tune in and vibe to it, no matter what you're talking about. I have people that aren't interested in the business, and I'll probably have to like sort through it all soon, but like, I have so many people that like aren't actually into joining, but they still watch my journey every single day because they're like, you're just so fun, you're just so excited about what you do. Like, I just love watching it. And so just really tuning into that part of you that just like has fun with it, that's when it's going to change your business. So those were the tips I had. If you guys have any questions before we end this, send it in the chat. We'll try to answer anything you guys have. But yeah, I hope, drop a 2 if this helped. If this helped you in any way and you're going to go from this and be more excited or more confident about making your posts and videos, drop a 2, let us know. We will get the recording up soon so we can share it with people. And I honestly feel like this was so good. So thank you guys for coming. Thank Colleen and Caitlin and Sarah for helping with this, and Colleen for the amazing idea. It was all Colleen's idea to do this, and it was so good. So yeah, I'll see you guys later.